Hi, Scott here from everydayhandyman.com. Today I'm going to fillet a chum salmon caught in the Fraser River in British Columbia, Canada. It's smoking season now, and it's time to get some fish ready for the smoker. So hopefully I'll share some tips with you that help your next fillet job a little easier. A couple quick tips that I use on a regular basis that helps out a lot is to have a clean, dry board. If you don't, your fish will slide around as you're filleting it. That makes a lot tougher when you can't get a good grip on your fish. The second thing is to have a nice sharp knife. A sharp knife cuts right through the meat. If you have a dull knife, it kind of rips through the meat, and it also damages when. And the third thing is to have a system down. If you're filleting multiple fish, then doing the same thing over and over helps a lot. Then you get used to one certain way. When it's time to fillet the fish, the first thing I do is I find the backbone here, and I use the angle of the backbone and use that angle with my knife and follow that angle all the way along and then right out through the tail. But here's the backbone, so now I'm going to put my knife in here, and then I'm going to use that angle and slide it all the way along, trying to keep on the right angle, trying to keep your fish straight. And this knife is not very sharp, so it's making it very difficult. And then you want to just go on the outside of that fin, and then try and keep that the same angle as the backbone all the way along, and then you got another fin on the bottom here. Just try and stay on the top of that. And keep going all the way along and keep following the backbone here all the way out to the tail. And then just as you get out, there you go. Not bad. I can live with that. Get the top part cut off. I'm going to flip the fish over, and I'm going to have the fin and the backbone pointing towards me. So same thing as on this side. I'm going to follow the backbone all the way along with my knife. Find the edge of the backbone. Keeping a good grip on it. Trying to keep the same angle on the knife. Following the angle. Now we have this fin here, so I'm going to try and stay on the top of this fin. Angle the knife up a bit. Follow that backbone all the way to the tail, and then just slide it up. There we go, and there we go. Another fillet. Perfect. The next thing I do is take out these bones that run along the stomach. So they're very simple. I just put my hand underneath the fish, and then I find the edge here. There's a little edge of the bone sticking up here, and then I use my knife and I just follow along nice and easy. And then I usually just lift up the bone like that, and then they pop off just like that. Find the little edge, use your knife, let your knife do the work. Come right up. There you go. Once I've got all the stomach bones around the stomach out, as I take these little cross bones out with a pair of pliers, just a simple little pair of pliers. They're nice and clean. And what I do is I just grab the end, wiggle, find the end with your finger, and then you can grab the end with the pliers and then just wiggle. Another thing I like to do is I like to cut this end off, because this is going in the smoker and it was frozen before. It had a bit of freezer burn on it, so I like to cut it off. But if this was a fresh fish or a recently fresh fish that was frozen and had no freezer burn, I wouldn't take it off because you'd waste a lot of meat. Another thing I like to do before I get it ready for the smoker is to cut this big fin off. Because this is going in the smoker, it's a great idea to cut it off right now. But if you're going to barbecue this, what I like to do is keep that fin on, and that way the meat will cook around it. And then once the meat's cooked, you just pull the fin off, and you save all the meat. One thing I like to do after I finish filleting the fish is to scrape the backbone with a spoon. That way, no matter how close you get your knife to the backbone, there's always a bit of meat. And that way you can either just put it in your fry pan, scrape it off, you get a nice big chunk like that. Usually put it in your fry pan, or if you have a whole bunch, you can grind it up and make salmon burgers. and they taste great. That way you don't waste any of the meat. There you have it, 2 fillets, nice and clean, deboned and ready to eat. Couple quick tips to remember: keep your board clean and dry, have a sharp knife, try and do the same thing over and over and get used to the same system for every fish, and be sure to scrape your backbone and not to waste any meat. For more handyman tips, be sure to visit everydayhandyman.com.